Alright, hello, welcome. This is my second attempt at a Knightfall gameplay video. First one, I just thought the production value was a little too low, so second time around, we're just going to play a league with Bant Knightfall. Um, Last league we did 2-3. Maybe, just maybe, we could possibly do better in this league. At least not worse. There's hoping. But the point of this is just to have a demonstration, just a good example of the different lines you can take and what gameplay with Bant Knightfall looks like. Alright, so this is round number 1 of the league. We are on the play. Um, Not the best hand, but we do have turn 1 Noble Hierarch, and I think having Urza Saga in hand and a Preordain really helps kind of tie this all together, so we're definitely going to keep this. Just waiting for opponent's decision. Um, but yeah, I'm thinking, fetch Noble Hierarch. Um, and if let's say they play a 1-drop, then we can Prismatic Ending it and Preordain while playing Urza Saga to get ready to get that engine turning. The land we're going to fetch for specifically, I think is going to be Breeding Pool. I usually like to go for Breeding Pool the earliest because Breeding Pool Plains lets you cast everything by turn 3. Um, if the third land is colorless, and like you don't have a mana dork or anything like that. Oh, Teleria West. So this is presumably Amulet Titan. In my opinion, somewhat of a dubious matchup, but let's see here. Let's start with Preordain and see what the top of the deck's looking like. Land and another Hierarch. We don't need either of those. So bottom both. Draw a Knight of the Reliquary. So all I really can do here is run out Urza Saga. Hopefully get that Haywire Might on the battlefield as soon as we can. Swing for 1. And see what the opponent has for us. Getting to untap with Knight would be pretty good too, because then we can start going for Ghost Quarters. Alright. Forced into Grazer. I'm guessing a bounce land to get back to Teleria West. Yep. Oh, putting Force back in hand. Alright, interesting. So no Amulet, but what did they keep on 7? They mold to 6. So interesting. Okay, so we have the option to play Jace here. Hard to say what we should do. I kind of like Jace in these situations where we can start Fate Sealing. Obviously, our opponent is looking for an Amulet. But they might already have what they need in hand, so just wasting my turn, not being able to make a construct to just play a 4-mana Fate Seal might not be very good here. Also, forewarning, I'm really bad at multitasking, so when I'm talking, I'm not playing. Also, there's a lot of clicking in this, and I am not super well versed with Moto, so I might be going to time in some of these games. Or I might be timing out in some of these matches, rather. So this we can get Haywire Might next turn and untap with Knight to have Ghost Quarter live. Kind of locks things down, but if it goes too long, they're just going to start playing Alien Titan's the fair way. Um, but I think I'm fine with that. I think we're going to run the knight out here and give up the opportunity to make a construct. In certain matchups, you kind of have to learn where your constructs are going to be really good versus where they're not going to make a huge impact. And in the matchups where having a construct tokens aren't going to make a huge impact, um, you kind of want to prioritize playing your more impactful spells over making constructs. So now the Reliquary can search out Ghost Quarter, which can be useful in this matchup. So I think just getting Knight untapped ASAP is going to be more important than making a construct here. I also think it's going to be more important than Jace, although if maybe my opponent was a bit more hellbent, I would just rush out Jace and just start fate sealing them and trying to deny them whatever they're trying to draw into. So 5 cards in hand from oh well, they're about to draw. So they'll draw up to 6. One will be a forest. They have Teleria West and Simic Growth Chamber on the battlefield already. Alright, let's see what they got. The One Ring. Go figure. Well, that Haywire Might is certainly going to be helpful here. Teferi. Alright. Again, I don't think a construct's going to help us here a lot, so I think I'm just going to float the colorless and either think about playing Teferi or Jace here. Get that Haywire Might. Thing is, I don't know what's in my opponent's hand, so I don't even know if I can make really that good, well-informed fate sealing decisions here. I might just want to start brainstorming and try to look for a Retreat to Gorehelm to just kind of put an end to this, so to speak. One thing I'm definitely doing before it's too late. And I think I'm just going to start brainstorming and try to assemble the combo together here. Not a whole lot of help, but at least we got a fetch land. So Shaziri Step we definitely want in the library. Then I guess we'll just put a fetch on top of that. So I can keep up Knight here so that I can shuffle and then also go for another Urza Saga. Or just like get Emergency Ghost Quarter if need be. Which feels a little lame. It feels like I'm giving my opponent too much time, but I think if I just kind of hold off the opponent for as long as I can and eventually find a Retreat to Gorehelm, that might be my best out here. Because just against this deck, I feel like they play certain combinations of cards and you can just die out of nowhere, so I gotta keep my defenses up until they die out of nowhere. Alright, Azusa. Alright, so I think with this trigger on the stack, I'm going to exile Azusa with Solitude so that they can't get their extra land drops. As I think I'm pitching Teferi because really, like, Prismatic Ending is able to get an amulet and like a lot of other things. I feel like Teferi's not that great in this matchup, so I think Teferi's going to be the pitch here. I don't think I really need to Ghost Court or anything in this situation, so we'll just keep Knight on standby for now. Forest back in hand. Alright, now we can shuffle our library and go ahead and get another Urza Saga. There's an argument just to have Ghost Quarter up and ready so I can start attacking with the Knight. Because what else does Urza Saga do for me? Urza Saga can eventually find me either Aether Spell Bomb or Shadow Spear. Start making constructs. I already have Windswept Teeth to shuffle. Let's just get Ghost Quarter this turn, just to kind of open up our options, and then get Urza's the potential of getting Urza Saga on a later turn. All right, let's start with brainstorming. Keep digging for that retreat. No retreats, but Reprieve is really powerful here, so we don't need Jace, so we can put that back. And I don't think the Noble Hierarch does anything for us, so we can put that back. Then we'll have a fetch land here that we can shuffle our library away with. Do I want to play Teferi? So I can play Teferi and hold up Reprieve, but I wouldn't be able to hold up Reprieve and Ghost Quarter unless I don't attack with Knight. Or I get to attack with Knight here and hold up Reprieve and Ghost Quarter, but I have a lot of unused mana. Let Teferi kind of help us draw an extra card. I think I just like attacking and holding up with Reprieve and Ghost Quarter at the same time, because this kind of clocks the opponent as well. Alright, pass to our opponent. Yeah, Reprieve going to be real good here. Oh, let's hold on. Let's shuffle our library first before we draw a card. Got a Stomping Ground tapped. Alright, now let's Reprieve. Basic Forest. And no land drop from the opponent, so debatably just Ghost Quartering a land right here makes it so that they need to top deck a land also. Well, we could always Ghost Quarter later, so let's see what our draw looks like first. Do a little brainstorm. Still no retreat. Don't need a redundant Teferi. I don't know, I guess island over forest. Although now I can't fetch for an island, so maybe that was a bit silly, but I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. Interesting enough, if I plus a Teferi, I can then instant speed a um, what you call instant speed prismatic ending. So let's get a little cheeky here. Let's make them sack. I guess the garrison. Or not sack, but destroy the garrison. Alright, now they need an untapped land to be able to run that Titan out back again. Knight can get Echoing Deeps to find another Ghost Quarter, but that's perhaps a bit too slow. I think I'm just going to attack here and put opponent on a 2-turn clock. Let's fetch. I guess life total doesn't matter a whole lot here. And play Teferi. And I think we're just going to plus Teferi to have access to instant speed prismatic ending if need be. And even if they find an untapped land, if it's just like untapped land, Primeval Titan, and pass, I don't have the 3 colors to prismatic ending this, but even if it's just untapped land, prismatic ending pass, that wouldn't quite cut it. Because then I just bounce with either Jace or Teferi and then swing for 10 again. I think that's their last land drop. Alright, I think we just win by bouncing and swinging for 10. Who needs retreat to Core Helm, am I right? Unfortunately, that single game took like a billion years for me to complete. So maybe I'm just going to lose to time no matter what, but we'll see what we can do. I don't know what they're supposed to be doing for 0 mana with Teferi on the battlefield. I'm pretty sure they're just dead. Okay, so we sideboard. I've been thinking a lot about changing the sideboard post-banning. Leyline of Sanctity has kind of been a point of contact, like a point of thought. Maybe more light in here, considering that Scam got nerfed, but as long as people are still out here griefing, I'm a little wary to take out Leyline of Sanctity. But anyways, Amulet Titan, Force of Vigor, really, really good. Path to Exile is pretty usable. Lavinia, just shutting off Summoner's Pact alone is actually a lot more impactful than you might think. And then something like Pithing Needle is probably better than something like Shadow Spear. Aether Spellbomb can be a little useful, but oftentimes if you're Aether Spellbombing things to survive, it might be too late anyways. But yet Teferi on the draw especially feels very mid in this matchup. On the play, it can be good, but like only if you can Noble Hierarch into turn 2 Teferi, bounce like Urza Saga or something. Anything short of that, Teferi just feels very mid. So Haywire Mart's definitely good. Pithing Needle is usable to name Slayer Stronghold. I'm very 50-50 with Shadow Spear. Very 50-50 with Aether Spellbomb. I think Jace is just a little too slow in this matchup, and like Fate Sealing is kind of hard unless your opponent is like actually just outright hellbent. I think we want to maximize the combo possibility as much as we can. Solitude obviously very important. Reprieve are really big in this matchup. We need to find two cuts, and I'm like thinking about like trimming at least one of the mid Urza targets. I don't think Shadow Spear is really going to make or break here. And like I don't want to cut any like the Reclaimers or Preordained, so I think we got to go and take out Aether Spellbomb here. So I think I'm looking at something like this. Alright, on the draw. Hand is very medium. I mean, keeping like turn 2, keeping a hand that's like turn 2 Urza Saga Reprieve feels very tempting. But I just don't know if this hand does enough. Like, yeah, we get to Reprieve against a big mana deck and have Urza Saga live, but I think we could just draw a better. I think we can just have a better 6 than this. Debatably worse. Debatably worse. So like we're in the same situation now, except we don't even have Urza Saga. Um, at least we do have Path. Pithing Needle, kind of like not what you want to see in the opener. You kind of just want that just as like an extra Urza Saga target to name Strelayer Stronghold to decrease your chances of dying. Path of Exile is pretty okay. I think I'm going to risk it and go down to 5, though. Alright, so much better, but we have to put 2 away. I definitely want to be able to turbo out turn 2 Knight, and Force of Vigor can be an absolute blowout depending on what we draw. So I think we have to put away Prismatic Ending and probably Keswick Wolfhorn. Alright, Forest Pass. They kept on 7, though, so they presumably have something good to go into. Alright, so we did not find a green card unless we want to absolutely pitch this Knight of the Reliquary. I think I'm going to hold on to the fetch land. Well, I mean, we put away Jace. We sided out Jace, and if we draw into retreat, I feel like we're winning the game anyways. So this might be a situation where we want to get like start thinning the deck early anyways. But I think I want to save this for like Hollow Fountain or something. So I still think I'm just gonna shock in a Noble Hierarch here. And drawing into a land wouldn't be the worst anyways, because at least we can hardcast Force of Vigor at some point. Alright, Grazer would be my guess here. Oh no, pass a turn. Okay, so really trying to figure out what opponent kept here. I guess he would have had the mana to hardcast Force of Vigor anyways. I still think we're going to run out Urza Saga here. Really try to just get that Haywire Might as soon as we can. Get this Knight out so we can start Ghost Quartering as soon as we can. Hopefully like draw into a pitchable green card before it's too late. Azusa? Okay, Dryad. Blue mana. Pass. Alright. Well, we can pitch a force to a force. Or we can just start hardcasting these forces. And I think I'm just going to hardcast a force, hold up Ghost Quarter. Is there any reason to wait? So they get an additional land drop. So they go like untapped land without a trigger, and then a second land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 untapped lands. Let's just do it now. I'm scared. I'm scared and I don't know what's happening. And then I'm just going to hold up Ghost Quarter just in case. Which maybe is incorrect. Maybe you need to start. Well, I mean, swinging for 4. I don't know. We could. I don't know. Maybe I should start. Maybe I should be clocking them at this point. The One Ring. All right. So Haywire might should be pretty timely here. Yes, I'm not even able to attack next turn, which is a bit unfortunate. I think I'm just gonna start Ghost Quarter, get like the Ghost Quarter engine going, get an early Ghost Quarter so that I can copy Ghost Quarter of Echoing Deeps. Solitude A. I guess we can actually just make a construct here. I mean, there's an argument for Pithing Needle. Naming the One Ring. Because if I Ghost Quarter this at a later point by Echoing Deep's Ghost Quarter, and this stops subsequent One Rings from getting me. So yeah, let's actually get Pithing Needle. Name the One Ring, and now our construct will stay a little bigger. Land attacking is going to be pointless here. They have protection. I think I'm going to Ghost Quarter Golgari Rot Farm here. Just to kind of keep them off their mana. And then rotate out Echoing Deeps on the next turn. Or Urza Saga. I could do either or, I suppose. So nothing worth Ghost Quartering here. So I think I'm just going to get the... The thing is, if I get Urza Saga, I'm not going to be able to rotate. Actually, if I get either or, I'm not going to be able to rotate further down the line. Bit of a conundrum. I still think I'm going for Urza Saga, though, and then just have a big night and just start beating face. Oh, oh no. If I just like left a land that was able to rotate out, this would be a win right here. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, literally no point in even like running out the retreat here. I just gotta hope that like I'm just not dead to rights next turn. Oh, that's rather unfortunate. I'll just start beating face. The good news is, like, I'm at least presenting lethal next turn. So. Oh, I don't even have a white card to pitch for the Solitude. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Oh, we're looking real bad now. Yep. Yep. And by the way, if we were able to cast Retreat, we could still combo win through an Endurance, because you just leave a fetch land open and then repeat the process. Oh wow, this just went from pretty okay to pretty bad real quick. Oh no, this just kind of fell apart in my hands, didn't it? Oh, now they have an amulet. Yeah, real greedy taking myself off of colors there. Hey, that kind of helps me too. Although I think if I get the chance, I'm Force of Vigoring both the amulet and the Dryad. Sure, I'll take 3. All right, top of the deck. Don't let me down. Forced, at least I can hardcast this Force of Vigor now. Yeah, so we gotta make some mana here. Oh, is this once? Oh, it doesn't matter. I thought this was symmetrical. Oh, it's asymmetrical. Unfair. Didn't need it anyways, though. I don't know. I'm doing it like this, but. I guess swing for 4. 4 minutes on the clock. I'm basically have to win this game or lose the match on time. And that's kind of my fault. Like I said, I'm really bad with playing quickly on Moto, especially when I'm trying to talk and do all the clicking and such. Well, they have a land drop. I got a Reclaimer. That is something at least, but not much else to do other than just start swinging, I guess. Yeah, they get the jump block. Pass the turn. Hoping for the best here. Uh-oh. They can cast a Titan. There's a Titan. Don't I wish I had a Teferi now? Although if I draw a land... If I draw, especially a fetch land... This retreat can start putting some work in. Not quite what I want because they gain 6 life. Um, I don't think like rotating anything at this point does anything for me. Like the best I can maybe do is like rotate out. It's just Zeri step, swing for 4, put them to 4, then they go to 3, and then next turn, echoing deeps to get Zeri step again to swing for lethal. Because if they solitude them, they gain 6, and they just get so much time back. Alright, I guess just gotta try to squeeze the cheese out on this one, so to speak. Let's get a Shaziri step. And I guess if in an emergency I can solitude something. They do get to make a construct though. I can solitude the construct. They gain 2. Swing for 4 again. Put them to 1. They die to the 1 ring. As long as I don't have to like kill like solitude the prime time in an emergency, that might be able to get it done. I just wish I hadn't nuked my mana base and just could have won with that retreat when I drew it. But here we are. Maybe they're considering if they can play a second prime time. But they're like, but do I want to activate Ursa Saga? I just hope that they're like running through just all like what terrible play should they be doing right now, rather than running through how are they killing me on this turn. That is what I hope they're running through in their mind right now. Summoner's Pact. That sounds like they're trying to kill me right now. Oh, yep. Okay, so I think they're going to try to swing, get 2 lands, and just Valakut nuke me. Which I would be kind of fine with, because then I can Solitude the Dryad. But then I can't Solitude the token, so I don't know how I'm winning on the backswing here. Oh, they're just going to play it. They're both going to face? I'm okay with that. Uh, 2 minutes on the clock. If I exile this, you can make white mana and give this +2. Swings for 8. I need to block with both the Noble Hierarchy and the Haywire Might. You would go to 5. I could swing for 4, which is not lethal. What happens? Well, I don't know. I think I'm just out of this match. Let's see what happens if I let myself go to 1. They got no cards in hand. Oh no, I messed up because now they just give this haste and trample. Yeah, I should have just solitude that right off the bat. I don't know. I think I just let myself get hit by Valka. It actually just probably lost me the game when I at least had a chance. Oh my god. Yeah, yep. Okay, hold on. Let's concede and see if we can win in a minute. Okay, yeah. So that was just some silly nonsense right there. So I got a minute to win. So basically, turn 3 win probably doesn't even get me there because I won't have the time to actually do all the clicking. But let's try anyways. I don't know, keep. No time to mull. Let's get breeding pool. Shock. F6. And F6 for their turn. I'm just going to prismatic ending while the ending's good. Preordain. None of those are retreat. Combat. 6. Fetch for a Hall Fountain. Or whatever. Temple Garden's quicker. I was able to get to the Temple Garden quicker with the click, so I guess that's what we're doing. F6. Yep, now Knight's dead. There's no way I'm winning this game. Especially not in 30 seconds. Oh. Yeah, they could pay 4 life and then kill the Knight. Um... Wait. Hold that thing here. Just get this out of the way. Just F6 or everything. Got 5 seconds. Yeah, I could have done that on their upkeep and not given them the mana, but I think this matters very little here. Oh, they had all the exact mana too. Yep. All right, well, 4 seconds on the clock. That ain't happening. So I feel like we had 2 opportunities to win game 2 there. One, if I just exiled the Dryad with the first Valka triggers on the stack, that would have saved me a total of 12 life. I would have been at 13. They had nothing in hand, so They could give it vigilance, swing for 8, probably like get bounce land Vesuva or something like that, but everything's tapped, so there wasn't that much more they could do on that turn specifically. Um, and then I would go. They'd have potentially the ability to make a construct, I think. So getting Echoing Deeps to swing for lethal on that turn would not be possible unless I top decked like a Path to Exile. And it's very possible I could have had a Path to Exile on top, so that was like an opportunity to at least not lose the game. And then also just like not leaving myself open to winning with retreat was felt really painful when I drew the retreat. So probably a little cleaner plays we could have done there, but I think this was a good demonstration of how the deck plays, so I'm happy with that match. Alright, I'll be right back for round number 2. Alright, round number 2. Land's Noble Retreat, usually not a keepable hand, so we'll mull that on the draw here. The combo in hand, but one land and a functional forest at that. Unfortunately, we cannot keep this either, even though we do get to draw a card, but that's a trap. Alright, this gets a lot better. So we'll keep this. I think that Preordain is going to help us a lot. This Kessig Wolf Run does nothing. And it's a matter of, do we want Knight or do we want Teferi? I think if we have Preordain in hand, there's a potential of like finding just the combo, and we might have an oops I win situation with Urza Saga backup. So I'm going to put away Teferi, although I don't like it. There's an argument to like put away a land and just hope to draw a land off of Preordain. But the land we'd probably have to put away is Urza Saga. Let's see here. So Kessig definitely goes away. If we put away Urza Saga, then we have Knight and Teferi, but I kind of like Urza Saga. If we go up against removal, let's just do this. Let's just do this and see if this being humble works out for us. It's not so bad. So we're going to run out this Elvish Reclaimer. This will either absorb the removal to help increase the odds that our Knight sticks, or they don't respect it, and then we can potentially choose some lines where we're utilizing Elvish Reclaimer rather than trying to turbo out Knight of the Reliquary. Jeskai Triome. Is this like 4-color elemental pile? Because that wouldn't be good for us. Preordain. Let's cast one of these Preordains. Try to piece together a better idea of what we can do for a game plan. If we're up against the value deck, I think just desperately trying to find the combos the way we need to do this, but it's going to be real difficult if they just... I mean, it's going to be real difficult for us just to be able to stick with Knight. I don't know if... I mean, if we go Turbo out Urza Saga, get... Aether Spellbomb, it can kind of help us protect our Knight. In which case, we would need the other land. So let's try something like this. And then just swing for 1. Five color. Well, I think they would still play five color to get full domain anyways. Narset, is this some sort of like control shenanigans? This is like a Days Undoing deck? Supreme Verdict, oh my gosh, it's just outright control. Alright, I think just doing fair Urza Saga stuff here might be our best bet. That's a draw we don't like to see. Yeah, I think I just want to make a token. Do I want to use this fetch land or save it for like a possible Jace? I'll save the fetch land. I guess swing one at Narset. I think I'd prefer to see this over some sort of Omnath pile deck. I don't. Maybe they're still running Omnath with their Supreme Verdict, but that being said, I don't think a control like good old classic domain control is necessarily that much better for us, anyways. All right, so they got Verdict Counterspell. We are just going full on. Sure. Make a construct. I think Aether Spellbomb to potentially save one of my creatures down the line is going to be our best bet here. I think there's a good argument for Haywire Might to exile a Leyline Binding, but I'm thinking more about that Supreme Verdict than I am Leyline Binding, because like then they can also just Verdict the Might itself with everything else on the battlefield. So let's attack here. Fat Shock for Hollowed Fountain, our only blue source right now we can get off of Windswept Heath. Hit for 3. Cast Preordain. Jace probably pretty good. And I'm going to need that Windswept Heath to try to cast it. I think if they have an effect that shuffles my library, I'd rather just secure Jace in hand at this point. But I do kind of want that fetch land so I can have ambitions about casting Knight. So they're just going to Verdict now. So I think I'm just going to resolve my Jace the Mind Sculptor here. I don't know how much life total matters here. I think I'll go to Force just in case. Force negation would be pretty brutal from them. Man, I can't have shit in Modern anymore. Yeah. Well. You got me. Man, don't you just miss the days of your opponent taps out for a sweeper so you get to resolve your spell? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Alright, go ahead, opponent. Speaking of sideboard changes, so one of the sideboard changes I'm really considering is swapping out Flusterstorm for we're losing this game. Flusterstorm for what you call Mystical Dispute. Solely because Mystical Dispute can hit Subtlety. And so that's a real change I'm considering here. I guess let's run Night Out into the counterspell that we know is in their hand. Do something, opponent. Solitude A. I guess I'll try to save it. So different things I can do here. I can bait out a counterspell and then resolve Elvish Reclaimer. Because they know I have Jason Knight in hand, so like they're definitely saving that counterspell for that. I can try to end step on their end step cast Solitude. They're just gonna be drawing so many cards though. Maybe we bait out. Maybe we just bait out the counterspell and then resolve our Elvish Reclaimer. Try to get Urza Saga, wait 3 turns, get Haywire Might. Because, you know, Urza Saga is the perfect counter to the One Ring. That's one of the reasons I quoted for not banning it. You just have to wait 3 turns and hope everything goes well while your opponent draws a total of 6 cards. So, you know, perfectly balanced. And cast this to Element. My god, opponent has 9 cards in hand. With 7 mana to play with. Sure. Sure. And they still have counterspell backup. And a full grip in hand, and they're gaining life to offset the One Ring killing them. I think I'm just going to save time here. I'm at 16 minutes on the clock. I know how slow I am in playing this game. I need all the time I can get to try to win 2 games in a row. So perhaps an early concession, but there's no chance I'm winning that game. And all the chance that I time out any chance I have of having a comeback. All right, so Fluster Storms, Lavinias are good. Veil Summers are good. Even if I saw Snapcaster Mage, I don't know if Pajuga Bog is worth it. Ghost Quarter potentially useful and kind of keep them off domain if I have literally nothing else going on with my lands. Pithing Needle, I guess, is useful. Alright, what's bad? What's bad? Shadow Spear, I don't think I get enough mileage out of that. Aether Spellbomb can save a creature, but that's more of a main board I'm losing anyway trick than something I really want to rely on post board. Against Control, I'm really reluctant on trying to win with a combo. So I'm at least taking 2 out. I might take the whole combo out, actually. I don't even know how good Solitudes are against them. It's a creature of flash, but it costs 5 mana. So I think trimming 2 is the right thing to do. And then one more card to cut. I'm really thinking about just taking the whole combo out altogether. It's like the Urza Saga plan is kind of going to be one of my best bets, but it's kind of a... I don't know, I feel like Knight on itself is already a lethal threat against them that they have to deal with, which they will, but it's something they have to do anyway, so it's not like the threat of retreat is what makes Knight usable in this matchup. I mean, Prismatic Ending is actually pretty bad now that I think about it. Maybe I just don't want Prismatic Ending. And then either like go up to 2 retreats anyways. It feels kind of bad. Maybe go up a Solitude, just have a creature of flash. Or Force a Figure. I don't know. Aether Spellbomb does draw a card. Maybe we'll do the Aether Spellbomb. Something like this. I'll take the play. In turn 2, Teferi, probably pretty good. I mean, not good enough against mono answers. Maybe the idea is run out Lavinia with Veil of Summer backup. Which still, Veil of Summer still doesn't protect against subtlety, but... No, it's like I can only do so much, right? If I did have Mystical Dispute, I would be able to cast Lavinia and have the blue mana up for Mystical Dispute here. And that's kind of one of the things I was really thinking about it, because like against Living End, like getting Lavinia on the battlefield is really important, and Subtlety is kind of like their one answer against it. So being able to cast Lavinia and have the colors to have Mystical Dispute backup was kind of one of the things I was considering. Let's go Island. I think Lavinia with Veil of Summer backup is what I want to do here. And then next turn I can Teferi with Veil of Summer backup if this hits. And be safe from subtlety. Okay. Now, do I want a Veil of Summer, or do I want a Noble Hierarch? Or I mean, do I want to hold a Veil of Summer, or do I want a Noble Hierarch? I mean, all the removal's white, so at this point I might as well just run out a second Noble Hierarch, which is like, I think I'm gonna be fine on colors and mana anyways. It's not like I'm running in, like, playing poorly into a Supreme Verdict or something. Just having the extra Exalted trigger probably pretty relevant. Okay. Alright. Let's start by shocking in Stomping Ground. And trying to cast a fairy. Veil of Summer. Echoing Deep's not super useful right now. Let's swing for 4. And I don't see much of a reason to not minus Teferi here. The only thing I could think about wanting to like bounce is leyline binding. As long as Lavinia sticks, that shouldn't be much of an issue. We drew a Haywire Mite. Kind of don't want to run this Haywire Mite out into Supreme Verdict, because if they Verdict, then Binding's live again. And I'd rather have a Haywire Mite post-Verdict ready for that. So we're just going to pass a turn here. Another Teferi. I think I'm going to keep this Teferi in hand, just in case. Here comes the verdict. The verdict is in. Is it Supreme? Yo, how dope would Reprieve be here right now? Retreat to Corehelm, interesting. Let's cast this retreat. And perhaps cast a Haywire Mite. Bottom. Haywire Mite and pass a turn. No, I don't like that. That sounds like a Teferi. A Narset with mana open. That's what that sounds like. The One Ring. Sure. Gonna bind in my Haywire Mite? Sure. Oh no, I'm binding the Teferi. Alright, how do I do this? Oh, but Knight of the Reliquary. They get the Fog with the One Ring, so I don't know if it's really all that worth it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to draw with the Teferi bounce because of Narset. They have 3 cards in hand. One is the One Ring. What are the odds I just need to, like, get under with Knight of the Reliquary here? Because I could go Teferi, bounce the binding on the Haywire Mite, and just have Haywire Mite open. 3 cards in hand, one is with One Ring. For this to be a subtlety, it has to be exactly subtlety blue card. I think I'm just going to get in while the getting's good. Echoing Deeps is just going to copy a 1 Soap Teeth here. And I will scry 1. Put that on the bottom. Pass a turn, hope for the best. Of course. So what I really need is to redraw into a Teferi. Instead, I get Jace the Mind Sculptor. I don't have the mana to go. I can't brainstorm with Narset on the battlefield. I think they just like that Days Undoing was just too brutal. I can start Fate Sealing myself. I will put that on the bottom. Oh, I should have Fate Sealed after doing all the scry fetching nonsense. Alright, well, a bit of a waste of opportunity, but I think I'm just gonna so there's an argument to like space these scries out and just have multiple scry ones over a longer period. Like just scry one, shuffle. So that way if I find something I want to keep on top, I get other scry one opportunities down the line. If I am trying to disillude myself into thinking I possibly have any opportunity to win this game, it's probably going to be over a course of a couple of turns. So I might want to do these scries one at a time, especially since shuffling now just puts a Noble Hierarch potentially back on top. So let's do that. Elvish Reclaimer. I don't think Elvish Reclaimer is. I mean, it's a good card, but like, I need to do something about these Leyline Bindings. Damn, I should have had. Should have really had what you call back in the deck. Put Force of Vigor in the deck. Okay. So we're just gonna pass the turn here. Prismatic Ending. To exile my Jace. Their own Teferi. To bounce my retreat, probably. They are plussing. Alright, I'm going to do these fetches one at a time. I'll keep Preordain on top. No, I shouldn't do that, because I cannot use Preordain with Narset. Temple Guard tapped, I guess. I just need to resolve a Teferi here, which I won't. So, I don't know what I'm trying. Nope, not doing this. Not doing this. You got it, opponent. Alright, 0-2, but I don't feel too bad about it. I mean, Control is never going to be a good matchup. And I think that Amulet round was still a good round, even if we may have not played to the best of our ability. But I don't know. It's easy to say that you made a wrong decision in hindsight. Maybe at the time it wasn't so clear what I should have done. Or maybe like it only seems like, you know, in hindsight you have all like the actual information of what happened. It doesn't mean retroactively any decisions you made were bad decisions. In this instance, I don't know if that actually holds true, but just throwing that out there. All right, I'll see y'all for match number 3. All right, here we are for match number 3. Sorry, like blanked there for a second. I like this hand. We got turn 1 Noble Hierarch into a potential good top deck, and then worst case scenario, we can play Elvish Reclaimer with Reprieve backup, and also have Urza Saga start ticking on that turn. So lots of good things here we're going to keep. Damn, opponent mulled to 5. I've mulled to 5 plenty of times, so, you know, it's about time it's the opponent's turn. Target player mills 5 cards. Is this, and they're targeting themselves. I guess we're gonna see what this is about. Oh, is this dredge? We got these oxen which have escape. We have dark blast which has dredge. We have creepy. Yeah, this is dredge. Oh no, what bracket am I in right now? Oy vey. I don't know how good Reprieve is going to be in this matchup. Is escape a casting cost? Like, is that a cast? I think you cast with escape, right? You know, when the time comes, I'll look at to see how that works. So in this instance, normally I would go Shock, Temple Guard, and Noble Hierarch because I'd like to keep my fetches available for when I like draw into a retreat or a Jace. But in this instance, if our land drops turn 2 Urza Saga into turn 2 Elvish Reclaimer, um, having the fetch already in the graveyard gives us a position where, well, I guess because it's not turn 1 Urza Saga, because then turn 3 Urza Saga would be on 2. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's do that. Opponent's yelling at me for taking too long. Sorry. Frowny face. Alright, I should remediate that. Pass turn. They said you good. Alright. Preordain. Opponent missed a land drop. So we definitely want to start getting the Urza Saga beats on them, I think. Yeah, we could just run out Elvish Reclaimer and hold up Reprieve. I don't know what Reprieve is supposed to be hitting in this matchup, but that's what we're doing. Okay. So opponent still can't draw a land. Let's get a let's get a Halt Fountain here. Now, do I want to run out another Reclaimer, or do I want to play Preordain? And I think we need to put some pressure on, so I'm going to run out a Reclaimer here. And I have no intent on rotating, so we're just going to attack. I will Reprieve if need be, though. Honestly, I don't know what I'd Reprieve, though, to make it worth more than a Construct token. Okay. Didn't have to think about it that much. Alright, so we're playing against Dredge, so Bojuka Bog seems good. Path Exile seems probably okay. What is Creeping Chill? Is Leyline of Sanctity worth for Creeping Chill? What does Creeping Chill do? Is it each or does it target? It's to each opponent, so even if it was target, I don't know if I'm bringing in Leyline in that matchup. Um, is escape a activated ability or a casting cost? Let's look into that. MTG escape. So escape is casting. So pithing needle does nothing there. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to bring in. I guess we could take out Ghost Quarter because we're bringing Bajugabog in. Are Jaces too slow against Dredge? Mayhaps. Mayhaps. Spellbomb seems okay. I don't know what Haywire Mite's supposed to hit. We just trim a Jason a Haywire Mite. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. So they're going to mull. All we really have in this hand is Preordain. So there's definitely a better 6-card hands to be found. So we mull a 6. They keep 6. We're going to keep 6. We're going to... I probably just want to bottom a land here. Let's bottom this island. Alright, second verse, same as the first, except they're getting a Narcomoeba double Creeping Chill. So, pretty good. We're going to swap life totals and then another Helix on top of that. 23 to 14. And a 1-1 flyer. I guess we're going to try to turbo out Noble Hierarch. Or turbo out... Not turbo out Noble Hierarch, but turbo out Jace if nothing else better comes in hand. Not sure what Jace is supposed to do in this matchup, though. I guess I could bounce a creature. It's kind of cool. Thrilling Discovery. You gain 2 life. And then reverse Faithless Looting where you discard and then... Oh, you draw 3 for discarding 2. Oh, and then you can dredge a bunch. This is like that... what card is that? I forget what it's called, but... Man, down to 9 off Helixes alone. And then the Amoeba beats are coming in. Looking quite dubious. And what are these things? If you gain more through life. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're just... oh no. It's not looking good. If I fetch, they have lethal on board. Put up some blockers, I guess. Maybe I should have done the Kessel Wolf run if I wanted to be able to fetch and rotate a bad land. Can this Noble Hierarch block? I don't think this Noble Hierarch can block. I think if this Noble Hierarch has to block, we're losing. I'm starting to think turn 1 Reclaimer should have been the play here to just get Bajugabog live immediately. But to be fair, even if I did that, this would still be the board state. It would still be too late. So right now I think Bojuka Bog's going to have to chump block. What card was cast? Oh, yeah, casting the Ox out of the graveyard. I guess the reprieve is pretty good against that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm conceding. I'm not sure what's supposed to happen here for us to get out of this. All right. Anything change my mind here? I literally don't know what else I'm supposed to be swapping out and bringing in. So I guess we're just running it back. I'd like to be on the play. True preordains and lands. I think that's a trap. Knight's Reprieve. So you can put the Bojuka Bog back in the library, which I think is better off. But we got to get lucky and, be able to untap this Knight before we're just dead to a nutty board state. Oh, wait. I did not mean to F6. I forgot I was on the play here. Okay. Crisis averted. Temple card tapped. And then pass your turn. So we each mold the 6. Cathartic Reunion. That's the card I was thinking of. Yeah, so it's the same thing as that other one, except the other one is harder to cast because it's red-white, and you gain life. But the gain in life helps with this thing. And, it also helps with that Creeping Chill, apparently. So I guess they get a 3-1 now. Alright, well, seems like Knight might not be coming in time here. Just need to find a lot of help off these reprieves, I think. I think I just need to have like a good reprieve into drawing retreat, cast Knight, they don't kill me, and then I win. I think that's the game plan here. What did they dredge back? Stinkweed Imp. They're not going to cast a spell, are they? Please cast a spell. I got it. Well, hold on. Got to fetch first. But I got to reprieve any spell that I get the chance to. Hmm. Part of me wants to run out Elvish Reclaimer, reprieve again, and then next turn have Bojuka Bog live with Elvish Reclaimer and possibly play like a 2-drop. Or I could just run out a Knight and have a 4/4 to block this 3/1. That seems like the safer, better bet. Kind of wish I left up reprieve because that would have been an awesome reprieve. However, if I can retreat off the top, it'll make it all worth it. I think I can block here. I don't see why not. Oh, well, that just does it then, doesn't it? Oh, watch me draw retreat off the top, too. Watch me draw retreat off the top. Okay, so I didn't draw retreat. So I think the best thing I could have done there was, instead of playing the Knight, Elvish Reclaimer into holding up reprieve. All I can do now is put out some 3/4s and hope for the best. I think I'm just dead. I don't think I can block enough to not die to combat. Okay, well, 3 match losses in a row definitely doesn't feel good or bodes well. But I will say I feel like the one typical matchup we got, I actually was not dissatisfied with how the deck was doing in that match overall. And we still at least have a chance to tie our league from the last recording. So I guess we're going for that now. All right, match number 4 on our quest to try to maybe squeeze out a win in this league. On the draw, we can. So I'm gonna keep this hand for signs, since we're on a losing streak anyways. So we're not really risking too much here. So these kind of hands where you have Urza Saga in hand, turn 2 reprieve, it lets you do two things by turn 3, which I think is the rule of thumb for keeping hands. It lets you do turn 2 reprieve, and to turn 3 activate Urza Saga. The bad thing is since we're on the draw, the first 2 turns of the game, our opponent gets to just play things unabated, and like turn 1 Ragavan is gonna feel real bad. Misty Rainforest passed. Not passed. Well, at least we do get to run out a Noble Hierarch now. I'll save these fetch lands. fetch, cycle, and then put a lot of faith in this reprieve if that's what we see. Excuse me. Is here the cycle? Oh. First cycle, Street Wraith. Oh, interesting, interesting. Still leaning towards this being Living End. So Urza Saga. And then we hold up Reprieve for all eternity. Any reason not to attack here? I don't think they play like a Force Spike effect, so I don't think they're gonna like flash in a blocker. So I think we should just attack here, right? Boseiju. Maybe we get Hollowed Fountain just to scare them. Alright, so we need them. Well, actually, no, Force Negation won't work. Okay, so this Reprieve should be effective here. They would only be bringing back a Street Wraith. Am I better off just pitching Solitude? Right, they're only bringing back Street Wraith. And then it'll be my Solitude versus their Shardless Agent. Be a lot cooler if I still had that Noble Hierarch so I can swing through. Second Solitude. I guess we just pass a turn here. Sure, I'm pretty sure I win this race. Knight of the Reliquary. Well, I'm not tapping out of Reprieve range anytime soon, so... But we will be able to cast Knight with Reprieve backup next turn. Is it time to start thinning out the library and fetching? We could potentially have a situation where we get to have a 4/4 Knight as opposed to a 3/3 Knight, which I guess is relevant against like safely blocking a 2/2 and not being worried about Violent Outburst. So we'll run out of fetch land then. Of course, I could just run out the fetch line to just not fetch with it and have the best of both worlds. double reprieve. We'll cast a Knight. If the first reprieve doesn't work and I'm tapped out, then I can at least pitch the other reprieve to put another Solitude in the graveyard. Part of me wants to attack to kind of trade, so that if like they do resolve a Living End, I can bring back 2 Solitudes. Alright, let's see what we can do. So if this runs into Force of Negation, I have the option to pitch Solitude, another Solitude in the graveyard. I guess Stomping Ground, or do I want to like preserve my? Oh, wait, no, I need a white source. Woo, that was close. Let's go to Plains. All right, let's exile this, just kind of get that out of the way. The 3/4 Swamp Walk or the 3/3 that's already kind of done its thing. I guess get rid of the 3/4. Alright, now if they're Living End again, I should be pretty safe, but now I'm at the point where they're going to start hard casting their stuff, and it's going to be a bit tricky. That's a reprieve. If I trade with this thing, then I have 2 Solitudes in the graveyard that come back. But I think Solitude Knight's already good enough, so just keep passing a turn until I get something that has a bit more sustenance to it. Because they haven't done anything, the top 3 of their library was not very good to them. So I might have another turn after this to like fade anything drastic. An Elvish Reclaimer. That's pretty good. That can get me an Urza Surrogate. Got him. Speaking of Urza Saga, I'll start swinging. What the heck, right? That'll clear the way for my constructs down the line. Alright, so we know about a subtlety in hand. Oh no. They can counter my Scope of Subtlety. Or at least put it back on top of my library. So do I just like
hold on to this Jace.
Start rotating out like Kessig Wolfrun Fetchland? Or like another Urza Saga? Meh, I don't know. Well, if I swung with Noble Hierarch and they're like, flashing my 3/3 to block it, and I'm like, okay, cool, Jace. Start feeling space sealing you. Yeah, I'll just pass your turn. Yeah, they're holding tight onto their subtlety. Grief. Well, I guess it's all the same, anyways. They got a 4/4 flyer. What's the static on this thing? Whenever you cycle, discard another card, scry one. That's pretty good. Okay, so first let's make a construct. And let's rotate out another land. We can go another Urza Saga. Where's my other Urza Saga? Did I already have one in the graveyard? One Urza Saga. Am I blind? Oh, that's right. They blew it up with yeah, okay, now I remember. I guess we can Echoing Deeps then. Just keep on making sagas. Um, I think Spear is gonna be what I want here. Hmm. Swing of the Construct or swing with the Reclaimer very safely and then have Reprieve mana open. Let's swing with the Reclaimer very safely and then give ourselves Reprieve mana open in case we need to use it. Scries it on top. Yeah, just in case that's a Violent Outburst, I'm not making a Construct token because I really need to save that Reprieve. I will make a Construct token here, though. I won't rotate it out in response, though, because I need to keep that 2 mana open. Let's do Aether Spellbomb. And swing with some 5s. If he like flashes in Subtlety and tries to double block, I got the Aether Spellbomb. Tactics. Iganjo. Not a whole lot I can do against that. I guess that's just going away, and then trading. I can rotate out Jaziri Step, but it just isn't worth it. I think just running out the other Reclaimer, I'm still applying more than enough pressure. And then if you want to pitch your whole hand to subtlety this Elvish Reclaimer, I more than welcome it. Alright, still presenting lethal. Potentially, depending on how things go. Sure. Reprieve the living end. Take a peek here. A bunch of griefs. Generous Archetype, nothing seems too out of the ordinary. Force negation, subtlety. Curator of Mysteries. Oh yeah, that's what that is. Oliphant's Griefs, Waker Waves, Force negation. Okay. Alright, you have a 2-2. Get rid of all this. You have Subtlety in hand. Let's see here. Land, Jace, Bounce, Equip should do it, but you probably just Subtlety the Jace. So in that case, just Equip, Bounce puts that down a power, right? Because then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 from the plus of this. I don't have a red source for Kessig Wolf Run. I think we just equip here and just hope that they don't have another blue card in hand for that subtlety. And it seems that they didn't. Alright. Shouldn't have any issue winning this game now. Okay, a good thing I won that because I have 11 minutes on the clock. Yeah. Okay. So Lavinia good. Flusterstorm. Again, really considering having these Flusterstorms be Mystical Disputes. I think Path to Exile is kind of too late. By the time you're using it, you're already losing. Bajuga Bog, obviously, very good. Veil of Summer only really stops Force of Negation. Although they're probably bringing in Mystical Disputes of their own. Let's start with what's bad. Shadow Sphere, I know, like, worked there, but, like, just barely. I don't think it's really making a huge difference. Same with Haywire Might. I think Aether Spell Bomb, being able to bounce your own stuff, is actually pretty good here. I don't know what Pithing Needle would supposedly be able to do. Ghost Quarter we take out for the Bajuga Bog. I think Jaces are just way too slow, way too bad until Subtlety. I mean, that looks like a deck. I think it's a matter of, like, do I think Veil of Summer is better than something else? I think keeping the combo, giving us best odds for the combo, is a good out in this matchup. All the Elvish Reclaimers are important for rotating out Bajuga Bog. I think think the subtleties are important. Oh, Prismatic Ending does like basically nothing. I guess Veil Summer's better than Prismatic Ending. Alright, we'll run it with that. Turn 3 retreat, having Reprieve in hand. Not turn 3 retreat. Turn 3 Teferi, having Reprieve in hand. Hand is just too good to pass up. They kept 7. Oh, because they're griefing me. That's why they kept 7. Okay. We have, like, I think of all hands to get griefed, this one is more or less I'm okay with it getting griefed. Because if they take the Teferi, which they probably will, we still at least have Reprieve, which they can, now that they know about it, they can play around it, but it's better to at least have something. And then, like, we can turn 1 Hierarch, turn 2 Preordain, holding up Reprieve. And if we ever draw a Knight, we have potential to just win the game. Main phase cycling, because why wouldn't you? So if I get a forest here, and like both my Noble Hierarchs go away, casting a Teferi might become an issue. So I'm just to be safe. I can either get Breeding Pool or Temple Garden. I think I'll go for Temple Garden. Ooh, okay, so now we really need to hope to find a lot of help with this Reprieve. Not this Reprieve, this Preordain. Because now we're losing Reprieve, and we're kind of out of options to combat them going off. But they're left with only 3 cards in hand, so that's something. Now only 2 cards in hand, and they don't have their 3rd land drop yet. Okay. Let's get the Preordain of a Lifetime here. Lavinia pretty good. So exactly subtlety blue card. We'll feel bad here. Lavinia resolves. Opponent 2 lands and 3 cards in hand. At this point, I kind of want the opponent to be missing land drops, especially because now their best out is just to start hard casting stuff, and they're going to need lands for that. And it looks like they took 4 life and didn't draw land, so that bodes well for us. Let's go retreat. We won the match. Okay, so they definitely like tilt scooped. Even if they did like start finding lands, I think we're still doing okay. Because we're going to be able to like hard cast Solitude. And this is swinging for 4 each turn. It's just clocking them. And then if any time we like top deck any of our rotators, well, particularly Knight of the Reliquary, we're now just presenting to win the game, but also just beating down by swinging for 4 each turn. So it was looking real good through for us there. And that may seem lucky, but like consider like we won this game through double grief, and I think that just goes to show like how many good tools we have against Living End. I would consider overall the Living End matchup to be favored. That being said, just like being able to fight through force negations and subtleties can be really just be difficult, and even if you have all the answers, it just won't matter. Um, but that's why I think like having mystical dispute in the side might really help, especially if you have like turn one noble hierarch, turn two Castlevania, really drive home that you want that to resolve with mystical dispute backup. But then you also have all your Teferis, all your Reprieves, being able to rotate out Bajukabog with 8 of your creatures, all just kind of tools to really help win. And it kind of really demands that like they have all the stuff they need, and we just need like some of the stuff we need. All right, so I guess we'll gear up for round number 4. If we can win this next one, we can at least say we tied the record we had with the last recording. But I'm still pretty happy with this. 2 of our losses, I feel like, were matchups I don't really care too much about representing. But the Amulet Titan matchup, I felt like showed a lot of good things there. Even if I debatably punted, I still felt like, you know, it was a good demonstration. And then that Living End matchup, I think, is also just a good demonstration of how we can, how at least kind of justifying why I feel like we're overall favored in that matchup. All right. On to match number 5. All right, here we are, match number 5. We are on the draw. Very awkward hand, no green sources. Double preordain. I feel like if you kept this hand, no one could blame you. But on the draw, I just think we can go for better, so I'm going to mulligan. I don't feel great about this hand, but it's not awful, and we can maybe draw into some action. If we can draw into like one thing we can play, but oh, Amulet of Vigor. Jeez Louise. I really don't want to be like. I mean, if they just have like the turn 2 nuts, the only thing that saves me is Ghost Quarter, but then I'm basically just like turn 1 stone raining myself just to not get comboed out by them. But this hand is so bad, I don't think any other lines are gonna help here. Here, we just gotta go for it, right? We're just gonna turn 1 stone rain ourselves. If they play another amulet, I'm gonna cry. They can float 2 mana. I guess they can do a handful of things. Okay. Alright. So if you think about it, we kind of just like time walk that whole situation, right? Because this is exactly what I was looking at last turn. But now this time, I don't really have anything to defend myself, so tapped a Temple Garden past the turn. Yep. Yep. So close to being able to have things happen. I think I'd rather Prismatic Ending the Amulet here. I think it's very obvious they don't have a second one, so. Okay, I think I'm happy with this. Land, say go. I think I'm going to reprieve it. Like, if they cast anything, I'm just going to reprieve it, because think I'm a bit desperate here. I guess they're not giving me the satisfaction. I might be at a point where I just want to like play the series steps like a hardcast Solitude. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think that's what we're doing. Oh yeah, we can't even cast Jace anyways. We don't have second blue. Urza Saga. Um. Hmm. I think just land, go, take 2 damage if they swing, and just keep reprieve up until their end step, and then at that point I can Solitude in against their Triad. What an awkward game, isn't it? Sure. Sure. The reprieve of a lifetime, they say. Damn it. It might be safe to go for Jace here. Worst case scenario, I can brainstorm into a blue card. I mean, brainstorm into a white card for Solitude. Blue card won't do anything for Solitude. Or bounce this, actually. Hold up. Bounce this because they have to pay 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 mana, and they need 1 more mana just to run that out. Why not? Why not? I don't know what's going on in this match. Simic Growth Chamber for blue. They discard Double Grazer. Let us brainstorm. Well, we can put away this Jace the Mind Sculptor. And we can put away this Misty Rainforest, I think. White, green, 1. Knight of the Reliquary. And I'm just going to run out another knight here because I don't want to like just leave retreat out for them to besiege you. But if I retreat with an untapped knight and don't use this fetch land, I mean having two untapped knights, it's doubly safe. But if I just had one untapped knight and I leave open this fetch land, then you can still combo through besiege you in that situation. And we have Solitude, Pitch Solitude. I feel like I'm sitting rather pretty here. Now, how can you cast your Titan and your Amulet without tapping down Slayer Stronghold? Like, I don't know what the opponent can do to not lose in this situation, but maybe just by me saying that, I've already jinxed it, so let's see what happens. Simic Growth Chamber, besiege you. Even if you could, sure, yeah. Even if you could cast a besiege you, I'm still able to combo through besiege you. All right, so that does a whole lot of nothing, and we just win the game here. Beep, bop, boop. Cast Retreat to Corehelm. Run that out. We're just gonna tap down your thinger. Because I have two knights, it shouldn't take as long to combo, and I can actually combo while withholding as much information as possible. They know about Ghost Quarter, and that's it. Let's fetch this Misty Rainforest. I think there's a plane still left in the library. Let's get Breeding Pool. I don't even want to show him Stomping Ground. I think I'm fine showing them Yavimaya. I don't think Yavimaya really gives away any crucial information. Okay, that's all I needed to see. Okay, let's try not to flub against Amulet Titan with a one-game lead again. Lavinia's Force of Vigor, Path to Exile, and that's what it's all about. Haywire Might, pretty useless. Oh, Pithing Needle. Or like the two targets I liked keeping in. It was like Pithing Needle and either Spell Bomb or Shadow Spear. It's hard to say. Maybe I want all three. I keep forgetting what I take out. I know I take out the Jaces. They're pretty bad here. And on the draw, I definitely take out the Teferis. So I just gotta trim one thing. Either trimming the Shadow Spear or the Spell Bomb. Spell Bomb helps me like bounce their Dryad when they try to like Valak cut kill me situation. Shadow Spear lets me kind of like back when like all the Titan players were just doing the swing for 16 double strike spiel. I think Shadow Spear is really useful there. Nowadays, but I do like the secret ability on it, where I can like blow up a one ring with Force of Vigor with the Shadow Spear. And it lets me trample through like grazers when I'm trying to clock them. I just think like a lot of situations where I'm trying to use spell bomb defensively, I'm just already dead. One land colorless. We cannot keep this. Opponent kept 7. It's got Urza Saga and Preordain. And I don't want to have a 5 against their 7. So it's like I could try to mulligan for something like a turn 1 Reclaimer where I can just try to get Ghost Quarter as quick as I can. But I don't know. I think I could just put some hope into this Preordain and just keep this. Right? Maybe honestly it's the stomping ground. I mean, I can't cast Knight of the Reliquary with these lands, but... Oh, please. Let me just, like, rip Force of Vigor and Preordain into a green card. That's all I want for Christmas. There's the green card. Neither of those are Force of Vigor, and I know I need lands to cast Knight of the Reliquary, but I'm just digging deep for Force of Vigor. We did not get there. Yeah, I think I should have gone to 5. This is... I knew this was going to happen. It's just such a mopey hand. But the dream's not dead. Preordain into Force of Vigor, please. I mean, the combo... Yeah, I think we're just better off trying to... Maybe they won't kill us in the next 2 turns. Maybe they just won't. Maybe the opponent will very politely allow us to survive and just dirtle on their next 2 turns. They died to the combo last turn, so they're going to get scared and get Pithing Needle named Knight of the Reliquary. Oh, they got another amulet? Oh. This looks like I'm dying. Say it ain't so. Oh, they got the Teleria West? The One Ring? Okay. Okay. Opponent, I beg of you. Please, let my Knight of the Reliquary kill you. I don't ask for a lot. I just ask for you to lose to me. Okay. Okay. You got the full grip. Awkward mana base, but you have the full grip and double amulet vigor. I have a Path to Exile and a Dream. You're scaring me, opponent. The tension is real. Okay. Simic Growth Chamber. You can make 4 mana. And if you play like an Azusa or something, you might be in trouble. Okay, so they did not bounce Slayer West, which means this is spooky. Which means they're probably going to play either like a Dryad or an Azusa, so that they get that they can replay that breeding, that Simic Growth Chamber. The good thing is that Slayer Stronghold is tapped. So even if they play like all 4 Titans, I should be like safe. So the only thing I think I need to Path to Exile is a Dryad, so I don't get blown up by Valakut triggers. Okay, they're going to Summoner's Pact. For an Arboreal Grazer. That freaks me out. That freaks me out. So Grazer effectively gives them another land drop. They can make another 4. Have 7 mana. Cast their Titan. But Slayer Stronghold is already on the battlefield and tapped. Oh, because they bounced the Slayer Stronghold. But they already used their land drop. Unless they have another Arboreal Grazer. In which case, I think they're only giving... Oh, we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do, and we'll use the path when we think we have to. Okay, so another Summoner's Pact. So they're clearly intending trying to win the game right now, because otherwise they're dead to these Summoner's Pacts. And another Arboreal Grazer. Oh, I am so spooked right now. Maybe they're going to play the Dinosaur. Oh, they put Slayer Stronghold in their hand. There's a casting Primeval Titan. That's fine. Vesuva. Oh, Vesuva copies Slayer Stronghold. Sure. Sure. Transmute Talaria West. Getting Summer's Pact. Entering combat. I think this is like the double strike thing. So they have no mana right now. I kind of really would rather keep that fetch land. So that like if they have a situation with Beseju, I could still combo through it. But I think with the, I mean, they have to pay 8 mana. I think if they just don't kill me this turn, they're just dead either way. I mean, opponent's almost at my time of how deep they tanked for this. Okay, so okay, so we won that. I don't know how we got away with that game too, but I still think I should have mulled. I think I had a preordained and a dream, and somehow the dream came true. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. So we at least matched our 2-3 record from the last recording. Um, but I think like the three real meta decks we played against was Amulet twice, and Living End. We beat Living End, we beat Amulet just now, and when we lost against Amulet, I feel like either due to just misplays or things just kind of falling apart one way or another, I think we like had a pretty solid grip on that game too. Um, so at least kind of shows that like Amulet Titan used to always be a very touchy matchup, but I think with Reprieve it got a lot better, and I think that was vindicative of that. Also, feel like we had like a lot of opportunities where I could talk about the different micro decisions and different lines to play. But all right, so just about 2.5 hours. I think I'm gonna wrap that up. Hopefully, after I export this and have this all packaged up, the quality is going to be a lot better. Hopefully you can hear me, and hopefully Moto is not like a billion decimals. So, all right, take care. Thanks for watching.